Our topic for today is adverbs of frequency. Adverbs of frequency tell us how often something happens. They are used to describe routines, habits, and repeated actions in daily life. In this lesson, you will learn the meaning, placement, and sentence usage of frequency adverbs. Let's begin. What is an adverb of frequency? As I said before, an adverb of frequency is a word that tells how often an action happens. It shows the regularity or repetition of an activity over time, whether it happens always, sometimes, or never. These adverbs help answer questions like how often does something happen, how regularly is the action repeated, and how frequently does it occur. Examples: how often does she exercise? She exercises daily. How frequently do they visit the park? They visit rarely. How often do you eat pizza? I eat pizza sometimes. Adverbs of frequency can be categorized into two types: definite frequency adverbs and indefinite frequency adverbs. Let's check their meaning. Definite frequency adverbs. These describe actions that occur at a specific scheduled time. Here we have examples and meanings. Daily means every day. Example: I go for a walk daily. Weekly means every week. We have meetings weekly. Monthly, I got paid monthly. Hourly, every hour. The clock chimes hourly. Quarterly, every 3 months. They review progress quarterly. Yearly, annually, once a year. She receives a yearly bonus. Every day, week, month, year. We can say every day, every week, every month, every year. Example: I exercise every day. Once, twice a day, a week, a month, a year. Once a week, twice a week. Once a month, twice a month. Once a year, twice a year. Take this medicine twice a day. On Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We meet on Fridays. Fortnightly means every 2 weeks. They publish reports fortnightly. Perpetually means continuously without stopping. It rained perpetually last week. Indefinite frequency adverb. This describes how often an action happens without a fixed time. Here we have our table of adverbs of frequency. Here we have always, usually, often, frequently, sometimes, occasionally, rarely, hardly, and never. Here we have also a percent, how many percent we do that. Always it's 100% and never is 0. Here we also have an examples. I always wake up early. I usually take a nap after lunch. He often arrives late for meetings. I frequently use my phone for work. I sometimes feel a bit lonely. The train occasionally arrives early. She rarely uses social media. They hardly ever travel abroad. He never watch horror movies. Remember, you should memorize these words because you will see them all the time in English books, magazines, and you will hear them in when you will speak in English. You have a placement of adverbs of frequency in English sentences. The placement of adverbs of frequency depends on the verb in the sentence. Common adverbs like always, never, and often usually follow these rules. First one, an adverb of frequency goes before a main verb, except the verb to be. Here we have subject plus adverb and plus main verb. I always remember to do my homework. Always is our adverb of frequency and remember is the main verb. He normally gets good marks in exams. Normally, adverb, gets, main verb. Second rule, an adverb of frequency goes after the verb to be. Here we have subject plus to be and then adverb. They are never pleased to see me. Are is our verb to be, never is adverb. She isn't usually bad-tempered. Isn't our verb to be and usually is adverb. Third rule, when we use an auxiliary verb, have, will, must, might, could, would, can, and etc., the adverb is placed between them. This is also useful for verbs to be. Here we have subject plus auxiliary plus adverb and plus main verb. She can sometimes beat me in a race. Here we have can. Then we have adverb and then main verb. Adverb is between them. I would hardly ever be unkind to someone. Would and then hardly ever adverb and be main verb. So our adverb is between. They might never see each other again. They could occasionally be heard laughing. We can also use the following adverbs at the start of a sentence. Usually, normally, often, frequently, sometimes, occasionally. Example, occasionally I like to eat Thai food. But we cannot use this rule for these words. Always, seldom, rarely, hardly, ever, never. Remember that. We use hardly ever and never only with positive verbs, not negative. Because hardly ever and never is a negative words. She hardly ever comes to my parties. Hardly ever. We can say she doesn't come to my parties. It's the same thing. Hardly ever comes to my parties. They never say thank you. Never say thank you. This is a positive sentence. So remember, we cannot use hardly ever and ever with negative verbs. And last rule is we use ever in questions and negative statements. Have you ever been to New Zealand? Here we have a question. I haven't ever been to Switzerland. Here we have a negative statement. And also the same as I have never been to Switzerland. See, when we use never, we cannot use a negative form of the verb. But with ever, we can use it. Here we have most common words, adverbs of frequency. Have a look on those one and write it down in your dictionary. It would be really helpful. And let's have a practice. Here we have true or false. Read and circle true or false for these sentences. You will have only 1 minute to complete this task. Good luck! And stop. Let's check your answers. Here we have, he always goes to the cinema on Sundays. Let's check. I always go to the cinema on Sunday mornings. So this sentence is true. He always goes with his friends. I usually go with my friends, but sometimes I go with my parents. So this sentence is false. He never takes sweets with him. I always take sweets with me. So this sentence is false. He usually buys a drink there. But I usually buy a drink there. So this sentence is true. Last one, he sometimes gets popcorn. I never get popcorn because I hate it. So this sentence is false. Okay, here we have choose the answer. Read the sentence, circle the correct answer. Let's see the example. I do my homework after school every day. So he do it always. I always do my homework after school. So you have only 1 minute to complete this exercise. Good luck. And stop. Let's check your answers. Here we have he goes swimming. He can't swim. So the answer will be never, because he can't even swim. We have pizza for dinner just once a week. So we cannot use always and cannot use usually. So this will be sometimes. They watch TV in English. They love it. So they love it. And maybe they make it not sometimes and not never. So it's gonna be usually. Also, here we have I never talk to strangers. It's really a bad idea. She always goes to the park on Sundays, every Sunday. We usually get up at 7 every day except the weekend. I never have cereal for breakfast. I don't like it. Good job, guys. I hope this lesson was helpful for you and you learn more about adverbs of frequency. Have a nice day. Bye.